Hello and welcome to a special edition of the Low Budget Review Show. I'm your host Eric Smith, and as I record this is May the 4th, also known as Star Wars Day. So I'm interrupting my regularly scheduled release of reviews to do a Star Wars review. So what I'm going to do is the most recent Star Wars book that I have read, and that is the Star Wars novel Maul, Lockdown by Joe Schreiber. Love that cover as usual. Love these things. This is the first Star Wars book that I bought in hardback. All the rest of mine are paperback, but I just couldn't wait to read this. Joe Schreiber is the author of Death Troopers and Red Harvest, also known as the Zombie Star Wars books, which I thought were pretty good. I like Red Harvest a little better than Death Troopers, but that's just me. It's very Sith-oriented, and I'm a dark side kind of guy. So his latest Star Wars book focuses on Maul. No Darth in the title for some reason, but there's another good picture on the back there. Before I get into the book, something else I find kind of interesting is that two of the most popular Star Wars characters are two characters that don't have a lot of face time in the movies. And of course, I'm talking about Boba Fett and Darth Maul. They both say very, very little, if anything at all. They don't do much. Darth Maul does a little more than Boba Fett did in his appearance, but they were both so popular that, well, they have books and comics and all sorts of things about them. But we're talking about Darth Maul. This book takes place, I'm going to have to look here at the timeline real quick. Hopefully. Where is it? Okay, this takes place about 32 years before Star Wars A New Hope, which looks like it's maybe a year before Phantom Menace, I suppose. And what this book is about is Maul, without the Darth, is sent on a secret covert mission by his master, Darth Sidious, or Sidious, not sure how I pronounce it. I pronounce it Sidious. Sent on a secret mission. He is sent to a prison, a space station that's a prison. He's undercover, and he's looking for a weapons manufacturer, some legendary weapons guy who may or may not even exist. And what goes on at this prison is a fight club. It's actually run by the prison warden, and the prison itself was designed so that it can shift. All the cells, everything can move. So when two prisoners are matched up to fight, an alarm goes off. The prisoners have, I don't know, 5 minutes to get back into their cells and hold on, because things are going to start shifting. And then when the two prisoners that are matched up, when their cells align, a wall opens up and they fight to the death. So this is what Maul has gotten himself into while he's trying to find this this weapons manufacturer. And there's a couple of rival gangs, of course, because it's prison. You got to have the gangs, and all sorts of other mysterious goings on. And Maul is thrown into the middle of this with his mission, and he just wants to please his master, of course. And Darth Plagueis is in the book, and ostensibly Plagueis and Sidious are working together, but Sidious actually kind of working on his own, with his own thing going on. Maul just knows that he's got to find this weapons manufacturer, get a weapon, get it back to his master, and he's got to stay alive. He's got to fight. They seem to like matching him up. He's the newcomer, and he performs so well that they just want to keep putting him in harm's way. See, well, at first they just want to see what he can do, and then I think the warden wants to take him out, so starts putting him up against tougher and tougher opponents. All sorts of little things going on in here, subplots, but basically it's Darth Maul or Maul, just kicking ass. He kind of, well, I don't want to give too much away, but I mean it's like a prison movie. It's a Star Wars prison movie, I guess. I'd say it's similar to the movie Tango and Cash, except it's much better. I'm not a huge fan of that movie. But you know, it's one of those where the main character is thrown into prison and has to survive and accomplish what they're there for. Uh, and Darth Maul's his job is made more difficult because he's told he can't use the Force because that would give away that he's a Sith. So he's got to do without his special powers. So he just has to rely on his wits and his brawn. But it's a well-written book. It's not one of the greatest Star Wars books that has been written, but it's enjoyable. It's a nice filler book. Some of the books in the Star Wars series, I don't even know how many there are. Some I call them filler books simply because while they do something's, oh, I don't know what just happened with my computer, but hopefully it didn't mess up my video there. We'll see. Anyway, filler books. I mean, you have the things like Fate of the Jedi. That's a 9-book story that's really tied into everything else. And something like this, it ties in, of course. It's all part of continuity, but you can read it. You don't have to have read any of the others. You could probably pick it up without any knowledge of Star Wars whatsoever, although you wouldn't know what the Force is and all that stuff, or some of the little things, but like the other Joe Schreiber Star Wars books, I think they're fun, they're good, they're kind of a popcorn movie. I would equate it to, you know, it's not going to win any Oscars or a Pulitzer, I guess, if we want to go literary. But it's a good fun book. Darth Maul is a fun character, if you could call him fun. There are a few other novels with Darth Maul, but this is the first one I've read. As always, I'm looking over and pointing at my books. I have at least one of the other Darth Maul novels. I haven't read that yet. I was just so excited to get this one because I really enjoyed the Star Wars zombie books. So anyway, there you go. If you want to see or read about Darth Maul being locked up in prison and having to fight to survive and accomplish a mission and everything else that's going on. I believe there's mention of the Black Sun, if I recall correctly. Anybody who's a big Star Wars fan knows what the Black Sun is. So again, ties in a little bit, but stands alone. I don't know why it's the colors. That's one of the things that makes Darth Maul such a good character. He's just got such a great look. But anyway, Star Wars Maul Lockdown by Joe Schreiber on May the 4th, 2014, Star Wars Day. They really should just make it official. So that's it. I say pick it up, read it, enjoy it. And, oh, as always, any comments, questions, or corrections, please put them in the comments down below. Please like, share, and subscribe. And read more books. May the Force be with you.